everyone, welcome to Decoeasy, the Dutch YouTube channel of me and my mother-in-law, Jenny. Thank you so much for stopping by. Are you ready for a new DIY? Because here we go.
For this DIY, we need an old piece of wood, and this is a piece of wood I always get for free with IKEA here in the Netherlands. We have in the stores, we have big boxes, and there they do all the free wood from dressers or something else they have leftovers from. They always do it in the kind of box, and you can get it for free. You see already, this is just a back panel from I think a closet or something else. I don't know. At least it is a back panel. So I got it for free and I'm going to reuse it again. And I'm going to try to make a Christmas ball out of it. And I will use this kind of a plank as my example. So I only need it for the round. So we will see how this will turn out. Here you see I did the round on top of one of the wooden panels because they are double. What I'm going to do, I'm going to first measure out, and this is almost the same size. So what I'm going to do, I just take a very gray pencil, very easy one, and I'm going to do like this first, and then later on I'm going to go over it with my yeah, a little bit of a marker. This is a black marker, so I can see it a little bit better when I want to saw it out, because I'm an old lady and then I don't see the line anymore. So I take afterwards I will go over it with my black one. So like this. So we get already the first round like this, and now I can get it over. You see already it's very very good to see, but when I am outside and I am going to, and I take the no risk, so I am going to go over with the black one. It's very easy like this. Go over it and make it a little bit sharper. So I will do the second one, and then we go outside and saw it out. My round is finished, and like I said, he is double up, so I'm going to try to saw it out double. So I have two pieces already in one. It's very easy to do, but of course I do it from wood. But of course you can do it if you don't have wood laying around and you don't have free wood or something else. You also can do it from a little bit of a thicker cardboard. So go ahead, you also can make it from cardboard. You don't have to worry if you don't have wood laying around. So I hope you come along with me outside, and then we're going to saw our rounds out. When you looked correctly, you see already I made also a top above from a square piece of wood, because and just with a pencil again, normally I just did a line like this, but I was totally forgot that I need also the top of our Christmas. So I did a little square on top of here, and of course if I turn it over, you see already what I mean. This was the original, and I just did a piece. I showed to you this was original line, and I just made a little before I did saw it. I did a top above, so I showed you a little bit better like this. Maybe it's a little bit more in your, now you can see it a little better. This was the original line, but I only did a little top on here before I did saw it out. And you see already right now, if I lay it down, that I made on the Christmas ball 3 extra lines, because we are going to cut our Christmas ball in 3 pieces. And of course you hold over 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we do 3 cuts over here, and I measured out all 3 of them are 10 centimeters. So we're going again outside, and we're going to saw these 3 lines. Here is already our Christmas ball, but he is totally in pieces. So what we're going to do, I still have him double up. So I'm going to show you what my idea is. Of course, I'm going to do a little pieces in between. This one has to be here, this one has to be here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue on the back side. I'm going to glue some painter's steer stick, of course, in the length like this, and that's and make sure that everything stays in place and with little openings in between, so we get 2 Christmas balls. And of course you can use them as a piece for your wreath, and of course you also can use them as a door hanger, and you can do it in your Christmas tree. But first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue those sticks, 2 on each Christmas ball on the back side like this. And then we are going to paint it. You see, this is the spaces in between. I just do a little small piece, but if you like it bigger, if you want to have a bigger space in between, you can do anything you like, but I don't want the spaces in between too big. I'm going to place one over here and one of my painter sticks over here, a little bit like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over, do some glue over here, some glue over here, and I'm going to do over here. Of course, my glue gun has to work with me, like this. And now I'm going to place it on top. I have to be sure that the spaces in between are correctly like this. And I squeeze it, and now I do the other side. You see how both of the Christmas balls turned out. This is the front and this will be the back. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to paint both of them, and of course I'm going to paint both of them for, I think, in the black color, but you can do any color you like. If you like dark red better, green or something else, but I think I'm going for the black schoolboard paint. Of course, I have my Christmas ball on top of my placemats for painting, and you see already how big my Christmas balls are. So I have to already get the camera off of the stand, because or else you wouldn't see what I was doing. You see, I use my very black schoolboard paint, so, and I really love the matte finish of it, so I will paint this, like I said, in the black color. You see already how the Christmas ball turns if you give it only a color. You see, I'm still busy with the second one, but I am already in love with how both of them are going to turn out. Both of our Christmas balls are already now, you see, in the black color. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just taking out my twine, or just jute, just what you call it, and I am going to do the top with a piece of the twine. You see already I have the underside open instead of the instead of the top, so we go to from the underside. You see, it's a little bit more like the thinner rope. So what we're going to do, we are going to do the top, this one, we are going to both of them in the twine. What we're going to do, we are going to turn over our piece, and we are going to do with our twine, just make a little dot of glue like this, lay your twine inside of here and wait a little moment until it is dried up. You see, I just let it dry. Oh, remove the remove the glue. If you remove it, don't remove your your piece like I do. So you see already, learn from my mistakes and wait until it is dried up, and then we're going over and we're doing a couple of turns over our top of our thing, so we get a nice top of our ball. So like this. Now I'm going to get my rope over here, and I'm going to go over and make it like this, and just do side by side, just like this. And I'm going to turn it over so we get the side we will see on top, so we can see what we are doing. Again, like this, squeeze it down, and go over with the second one, and go over, and so until the top. We are almost at the top. What I'm going to do right now, I leave a piece open, turn it over, and I'm going to do some glue over here, because we also need an ending of our Christmas ball. Like you see, the top is always having one loop on top, so we are going to make that now before we go work it further off. but you see that in a moment. You see, I left over, like I said, a little piece of the top for now. What we're going to do, I took out 6 pieces of the same length, and of course the length you want to have your where you can hang your ball on top of here. So I don't want to have it too long, so I think this is a little bit too long, but I'm going to make some, I don't know how you call it. In Netherlands we call it vlechten. So I think you already know what I mean. So what I'm going to do first is just place this one, all 6 of them. I have to cut them on the same length like this, and I'm going to glue them already on top of here. So I make some piece of glue, and this is just a try. I really have no idea how this will turn out. Most probably it doesn't work, or maybe it doesn't look look okay. We will see. So I'm gluing this on top of here. So in a moment I show it to you a little bit better, but I first have to get my fingers off like this. So now we have our 6 strands on here. Now I have to remove the pieces we don't need, and I show it to you a little bit closer. You see, I just glued 6 of them over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make just like you do also with, if you have a girl, you can, of course boys also can have it, but you can make some strings, and we're going to do 2 this way, 2 in the middle, and 2 on the right or left. And we are going to go over and over, and we just make, I don't really know how you call it in English. Of course I am trying to do it in front of the camera. Just go over one of them like this, and you see already, this is what I mean. Like this, you just make some, I have to look up in English what kind of word it is. Leave me a comment down below. And now I'm going to go see how long I want to have it. You can see already which way I go. I will make it this long that I can go to the other side. And I still need to go a little further. Like this. I hope you bear with me and have a little bit of patience with me, because I know sometimes it takes a little bit longer, because I want to show it to you what I do. And like this, I have to look if I have already this is a little bit the length I am going to need. So I'm going a little bit further, and then we are going to stop, and we are going to cut it off and do it also on the same length like we did with when we started, like this. And you see, I want to have this piece, and now I'm going to cut off all 6 of them. I'm going to try to lay them next to each other a little bit like this, and I'm going to cut it like this. Again, place some glue in a line like this, and we are going to place our piece inside of on top. And first, of course, don't glue yourself like I do right now. It is a little bit of work, but I hope at the end, it will look okay, but most of the time it does, but I don't give guarantees that it will look okay. So like this, we have to work a little bit with it like this. What we're going to do right now, we are going to the back side, and we are going to do like this. We take our twine again, we do a little bit of glue on this piece we stopped, like here, and we are going to lay down again our piece of rope inside on the same length, so we go further where we left off, like this. I show it to you. You see, we are going to go further in our round, and of course we are going to turn it over again. And now we are going to go over and have a nice ending to our piece and go over it and go over and like this. And now we are going to do some glue. And here you see the ending of our Christmas ball, and I'm really happy with the top. And it was so easy to do. You just go further and further until you are on the end and just place the last piece of your twine in the middle on top of your ending of your Christmas ball. So, and this is the back side. I show you also the back side. It's very easy to end. So you don't need a lot of glue and not a lot of experience. You see already I'm also no experience of ending your Christmas ball, but I think it gives a nice touch to do it with some twine. And I will do some furniture wax over here later because I want to have it a more rustic look. I will do the second one. You see already how both of our Christmas balls turned out, and I am really happy how they looking right now, especially if you imagine we only tried it for the first time to do a loop on top of our Christmas ball. So I think he turned out very nice. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take you along to my computer and we are going to make some two little tags for on top of here, one and one over here. So we will see how this will turn out. So I hope you come along with me. And this is how they finally turned out. I did here joy to the world and here believe in the magic. And I did the world and in two sizes because I wanted to see which size I like better. But I'm going for a little bit of the bigger one. Of course, these two little tags you will find in our free printables down below in our description box. So if you want to use them, go ahead, you can use them for yourself. So I will cut them out and I am still debating if I leave a little white lining around it or maybe I will do it totally in the black. We will see. Like you see, I did go for a little small white line around the tag because I think it pops out a little bit more, but if you like it just in the black color, it's also fine too. But I am choosing for this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of our ball. But what I'm going to try to do, I'm only do Mod Podge on the back side of the tag because I like the matte finish of my paper. So I'm not going over it with the Mod Podge to give it a shiny look because I like a little bit more of the rustic matte finish. Podge. So let's do the Mod Podge. I know you only see a little piece of my Christmas ball because he's really too big. So I take my tag and I'm going to do it over 2 pieces of kitchen towel. So, and I make sure that it stays in place so I don't get Mod Podge on the front. So I'm just going to go do a layer of Mod Podge on here like this and try to get it in place, and I try to do it as fast as I can, so I don't waste your time, but I have to do some. And now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to look where I want to have it, like here. And of course I really trying not to do some Mod Podge. And now you already have it over here on the middle of the second layer, like this. And I already loving how he's looking like. I showed you a little bit right now, and I know you see it backwards because that's just my camera. You see it in a moment better. And this, I'm going to do all the layers. Here on the table, you see already I have the prints on top of my Christmas ball, and I am really loving the print on top of here. I think the size is just perfect for it. So of course, but you can do anything you like. Maybe you are someone who can draw very nicely, so maybe you can do it with some pencil and just make the lines your own. But I am really bad in making my own drawing, so I always do it this way. And you see already on my table I have a couple of greenery. I have greenery like this because we are going to decorate the top, and I'm going to do it over here, one piece over here and one piece this way. I have some berries, I have some ribbon with some cute little white trucks, I have some greenery, some fern and another green, and some boxwood because I like a little bit the color of the boxwood and brighter green color. So I am really looking forward how this will turn out. So I will turn you around and then we're going to make it together. I hope I have you on the right spot of my table because he is so big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take first this kind of greenery like this, and I'm going to cut off the ends because we don't want the ends, like this. And we are going to cut off this one, and we are going to glue them on this side and just try to get it a little bit centered in the middle, but not under our twine, but a little bit over the twine, like this. And maybe what I can do better, because you see already the twine is a little bit loose, so I'm going to work off a little bit, do some glue and move it back and glue it like this. Then it's a little bit more steady when we are going to do our greenery. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue the ends, just do a little bit of glue inside of the stamp and just place it sideways on top of your Christmas ball, like this. Keep it in place for a little moment. Now I'm going to do the other one, also some glue only at the ends because you don't want to have too much glue. And this one also on the sides. Now I'm going to take out my fern and I'm going to use this a little bit of the darker color green. And what I'm going to do, you see already the ends are still on. We are going to cut off the ends, and we are going to cut off the ends of this one, because we do every side the same, because there's something for me. Maybe you like it better in different shapes. You are so free to do so. I'm going to do a tip on the end of my fern, and I'm going to place it sideways against the other one, like this. Keep it in place for a little moment, and then we're going to do the other one, but in the opposite direction. On the end, a little bit of glue and place it in between, like here. And now we are going to get our greenery. And I use this kind of greenery on both sides. It's a smaller one and the middle a longer one. And I can't cut off, most of the time I would love to cut off this piece, but we can't, then my piece will fall off. And this is really nice to have 3 in a row. So just do some glue on each branch like this. And place it not totally on top, but also a little bit over here, and just again keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up, or else it will fall off. And that's not the way why we make it, because we want to keep it steady. And now we are going to do the other one. Do some glue over here and on the end like this, and again we are going to glue we are going to glue it on top of here. And again, take a little moment of your time, but later on you will be very happy that you waited, because the glue of the glue gun is not always the greatest thing to work with, but it is fast. That's the only thing what's really great about glue from your glue gun, because it works fast like this. Now we are going to take pieces of our boxwood, and this is just a boxwood garland, and I always take off the pieces, and you see at the end, you see again a piece we don't want. We are going to cut it off, and then we have a nice ending. I'm going to glue only the tips on the end with some, and I like the bright color of the greenery. Just place it in the middle of the 3-way greenery you just placed like this. And now we're going to do the second. We're going to place 3 pieces, because we like the bright color, again like this way over here, and get it in place again. I say a lot, keep it in place, but I really mean it. So and if you don't like to see how I make my display, it's also fine. Go ahead, skip forward. You don't have to watch it, because I understand sometimes it takes a little bit too much of your time. But for everyone who loves to see the step by step, you can do it this way. But you can do it in any greenery, any color you like. This is just an inspiration, like I always say. Again, on the tips. And we're going to place it in the opposite direction and keep it in place for a little moment like this. Now we're going to get the other one, and you see already, if I leave it too fast loose, then it will come off like this. And we are going to place it above over here. But I have to say, be careful that you don't glue yourself, but don't hurt yourself in your fingers, because the glue is very hot. And most of the time I don't feel a lot on my fingers, so don't mind me, but be careful for yourself. Like this. And just wait. It doesn't matter the way you place it, just place it in. And what we're going to do right now, we are going to have our greenery in place, and now we want to do our ribbon. But I have to be sure that before I show you, I have to be sure that it stays in place like this. I hope I can show it to you. You see, now we already have a nice view over it. And now we're going to do the ribbon. I have my ribbon over here, and you see it's a very nice little truck. What I'm going to do 2 pieces like this. I think it doesn't have to be very long, because we want to place it inside of the opening here. So I'm going to do this way, cut it open like this, and I'm going to cut it off over here like this. Now you have 2 pieces, and what we're going to do, because we lay them over each other, and we are going to double them up like this at the end, and we are going to make a nice fishtail out of it And of course, I hope you have a better scissor than I have, because mine is very, very hard to get through. So you see, and now I have a nice fishtail, but you see, this is much too wide for squeezing it in here. What I always do, I have to first measure out if the length is okay. The length is, no, it can be a little bit shorter, so I'm cutting off a little piece from both of them, like this. Just a nice stroke. I hope I say it right, because that sounds also like something else, but I hope I say it okay. I just mean a little top of here. Then we're going to do some glue, just little pieces on here, and we are going to squeeze it together like this. It's a little bit messy, but you will see in a moment what I mean. Just like this, and squeeze it and keep it in place. And this is really a big mess. This is really a big mess, but it looks worse than it is. So, like this. So, I hope you do it a little bit better than I do. Now we still need the second one. Of course, there's no DIYing without a little failure, so it doesn't matter. I also love to show you the things which are going wrong, like this. And again, keep it in place, the truck in front, like this. And now you see where the ending is a lot smaller than we normally would have. And now I'm going to try to get it off my fingers before we go further. So I did almost unglue myself with, with so many glue. So you see, now the endings are much smaller. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue again on this top, and I am going to lay them sideways on top of each other, just like this. Again, wait until it's dry again. I know it takes a little bit of your time, but this way I can show it to you much better. And I'm going to do some glue on the back side, like this, a little drop. And I'm going to go stand up and squeeze them in between, like this, and place the ribbon a little bit under our greenery, like this. Just try to get it a little bit under the greenery and keep it in place for a little second until it is dried up, like this. Now we already have the fishtails of our, and I'll show it to you a little bit better, like this. And now we need the top of our ribbon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off a little piece. I've bent it and I have a little truck on the front, and maybe I will cut it over here like this, and I'm going to bend over and just do some glue on the end like this, and place the other side on top of it and wait until it is dry again. This way. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the other ribbon and I'm going to glue it on top of here. But if you have a much better way to make a bow, just really make the bow you are always used to making. This is just my way, because I am not a great bow maker. So please, if you have a better way, just do it, because I am not a great example for making bows. But if you want to see a real bow maker, that's really Arlene from, I think, Arlene from a country. I have to look it up. I will look the link from her channel. I will place down below, because she is great in making bows, funky bows, any bow you like. She is the queen of making bows. So I'm going to squeeze it like this, and I'm going to place this one a little bit in between, and now I'm going to do this one over here, turn it over, cut it off like this, and just do some glue over it. And I'm going to glue this over the other one and wait until it is dried up. And now I'm just going to go and work my way out. And I hope he's not too small, then I have to need to make a bigger one. So we will see. So I work a little moment with it. So I worked a little bit with my bow. It was a little bit of a task to get him right, because the first one was a little bit too small and the second one was also not doing the way I wanted to do it. So it was a task, but you see, this is a very simple, easy top of your bow. And what I did forget, because it popped in my mind, it is Arlen Country Craft Corner. So it's a lot of C's, but Arlen Country Craft Corner. So go ahead, look her up, because she is amazing in making bows. Then really this is nothing. She makes the most beautiful ones. So I'm going to do some glue on the back side, and I'm going to glue it. I have to stand up in between our greenery like here, and I keep it in place for a little second and work with my bow like this. And what we're going to do, we are going to work on the top like this. We are going to take a couple of our boxwood again, 3 pieces, and we are going to cut off the ends a little bit shorter like this, I think over here. And we are going to do this one and a little bit of the longer one. So I'm doing some glue on the end because I want to work a little bit with the end, squeeze it inside of here in the middle one, and we do one on the sides, and again like here, this is one. Now the other one like this, and squeeze it in between. And now the only thing we still need is 2 pieces of this kind of greenery, also used over here. Keep it a little bit shorter like this, and we're going to cut off this one a little bit like the same length like this. We are going to do some glue on the back side, and we are going to squeeze it on the sides in like here, and keep it in place. And like I always say, this is just an inspiration how I make it, but you can make it any way you like. And just squeeze it in, keep it in place like this. Work a little bit with your bow on top of here. So in a moment you see the end reveal. And here you see the end reveal of our homemade Christmas balls, and I'm so happy how they turned out. If you imagine, we only made it from free wood from IKEA, and of course some print and a little bit of greenery and some ribbon and twine, and you already can make your own amazing unique Christmas ball for in your decor. So right now I show it to you a little bit closer. And before we go further to our next DIY, I have to tell you that this video is also part of a beautiful get-together which is hosted by the beautiful Zana from OK at Home DIY, Connie from Connie Creative Creations, and of course their guest host for this month is the beautiful Shelly from Repurposed My Way, and the challenge is called What Would You Make? So I will place a link down below for all the 3 ladies, their beautiful channels, and of course I will place a link down below with the playlist with tons and tons of beautiful wood inspiration for you to find, so go check it out. And for now, let's jump into our next DIY.
Start off with this today, an old furniture panel that I've been using, I believe, for the kitchen because we needed a wooden panel there, and this was some excess wood which we can perfectly reuse. It's as thick as this for a cute DIY. I want to draw trees upon here, 3, and I can't draw by hand properly, so I'm going to find myself a really easy printable, which I am going to transfer onto this wood, and then I'm going to saw it out with my power saw. Just found this printable. I have to measure how large it needs to be. Hopefully I can make 3 of these from the wood panel, and yeah, I think I'm going to just print it in black and white. Only 1 is enough. And then I'm going to cut it out with the scissors and draw around with a marker, so I know where to saw. This size will probably do. Maybe I'm going to make this a little bit wider because this is really thin. If this thing is all out of wood. So first let's cut out the tree part. And then let's see how thick we're going to make the bottom. Oh, I think this is enough. If necessary, I can always just saw loose some more. Okay, this can go to the trash, the old paper trash can. Let's grab a marker and transfer that into the wood. Sorry for the bad camera angle. This is the best way how I can film what I'm doing on this large piece of wood. I think I'm going to start off here. Just going to put it on the side of the wood and then draw around. I could have made it bigger, but I don't think that size of the image was printable that big for my printer, or I had to transfer it onto multiple pieces. That's number 1, still 2 to go. Now we have 3 trees. I could easily make a 4th one actually. Time to saw them out. I tried to make smart use of this wooden panel by letting the bottom of the print just there, and you know, these edges here, hope they're easy to saw out. We're going to see how that works. Let's go downstairs. I'll also show you where the original of this plate was, so you can see what we bought it for the first place, not for decorating. Promise to show you where we bought this panel for. It is for this piece of wall here. You can't, oh yeah, you can see it here. Oops. Hello, curtain. Here it ends, but that's behind the curtain, because you can also see it here. This is completely wood, but they're all tiles were upon this part of the wall. Well, we couldn't remove the tile glue anymore, not well enough without the wood splintering. So we used caulking to make everything even and then painted it. So it just looks like a normal wall, but it's actually a small pan. Okay, we're in the garage. Here's the power saw. Here it is. It's new. I used it one time before with another DIY. This is actually for a vacuum cleaner. This is the battery, and here we have the saw. I'm going to make everything ready, and then we're good to go, I guess. And this workbench is also new. Perfect for this. First, I want to saw these big things in half, so like here and here as well. I hope you can see what I'm doing because this DIY is pretty big, and yeah, I'll try to do my best. Okay, I'll put the vacuum cleaner on, and then we're going to saw. There they are, 3 trees, and a big mess. Despite using the vacuum cleaner, there's still some wood splinters here and there. So I'm going to clean the garage, and I'm going to back upstairs to finish these. Painting time. I think we're going to give them each a different color. I'm going to use white paint, black paint. This is blackboard paint, but Jenny and I use it a lot because the coverage of this thing is superb. And beeswax. For the beeswax, I have a special brush here. I don't rinse it, just reuse it and seal it in a bag so we can use it again. Because that stuff is really nasty. And yeah, the the pencil won't dry out, the brush won't dry out. Okay, let's open up the cans. Oh, of course, I need to place them there. Otherwise, I might ruin the table. That's not what we want to happen. The black one here. And then, well, let's place this one there. Okay, let's go. Let's start, yeah, first with the black one. I started everything so the nicest part is on the good side, because on one, yeah, here, this edge folded double, because this is pressed wood from fibers, and yeah, it isn't really strong material, but it, or at least not when you're sawing it like I did. Maybe I held the saw in a wrong angle. Okay, first brush it up. First I'd like to paint the sides, because you're going to see those as well, of course. And when that is done, I will be doing the front part. And if you want to, if you're going to place it in front of a window or something, you can also paint the back part. But then, of course, I'll let first the front part dry really well. Okay, the sides are done. Time to paint the front part. Oh, that was number one. Now I'm going to paint the other ones white and brown. Every tree has its own color now. I have to wait until the paint is dry. I think that will take about 2 hours, but we'll see how quick it dries. Well, these trees look nice together, but I would like to give them some more, you know, the farmhouse or rustic style, because I think that perfectly fits with the style of this DIY. And therefore I have twine here and the glue gun. And I also have the scissors, because we don't have, at least I didn't notice them, those silicone, you know, fingertip grips for, you know, protection of your fingers with the hot glue. Now, what I want to do, yeah, let me sit for doing this instead of standing up and explaining everything. Let me see. I think I want to have them in this way, or should I do it in, yeah, I think this way looks nicer together. I'm going to show you on the black one, because hopefully you can see it the best there. Now you take your bunch of twine, your hot glue gun, and I think I'm going to start down here, because I'm not going to glue this because it has to stand up on there. And I'm going to add some glue. Hello, glue gun. Ooh. Carefully, like so. Then I'm going to apply the twine. I'm going to wrap all around. So let's glue here. And those corners are difficult, so that's why we'll be using a pair of scissors. Oh gosh. To help it get pressed in the corners properly until the glue has been cooled down. I'm going to do the same here on this edge again. Carefully. Don't smudge it all over the DIY. That would be a shame. And the scissors is especially useful in the corners here. Oh, I glued it. Oops. I glued it through the table. Yep, there it is again. Just going to apply some glue only upon the edges. And do it step by step, so hopefully everything remains in the right place until it has been cooled down. Yep, glued again. Luckily there's plastic. Hot glue gun has a little bit of a dripping day today. Now just press it in the corner there. and hold firmly until it has been attached properly. And by doing that, I'm going to work all around. I don't know if I'm going to do it with this one, but at least with these two. And yeah, I think that's going to look nice. So let's keep continuing. You know how to do this. I just explained it to you. And we'll be back when everything has been done. I realized that I did something out of the angle of the camera. So I'm going to do it again. Hopefully now it will work. Gosh, it has been glued again. Really protect your surface because the glue isn't that strong, but it will be really annoying if you mess up your nice table with it. Okay, some glue here. Some glue there. Carefully. Don't have to use that much. At least I'm not using that much with this glue gun. And hold. Carefully lift so we don't glue to the table again. Yep, it certainly has a dripping day today. Okay. Now tuck it in with the scissors. Don't wait too long, otherwise the glue has been cooled down. And you can rip it off, but you also have the risk that you're ripping off the paint as well. Okay, I hope you can see properly now. I'm really having issues with the right camera angle here for this DIY. Maybe sometimes even more, but yeah, just want to give you an impression of how you can remake your own Christmas trees or winter trees, because they don't have to be for Christmas, of course. From wood. Tree number 1 is complete. The only thing that I got to do is just cut down the edge of the twine, and then the first tree is done. What do you think of this? I think it looks really cool in this formation. Really like the accent of the twine on the sides. You can see the best with the black one. And yeah, this brown one has always the same color. But I really like this effect. Just gives an extra touch. It would be a nice idea if you can let the trees stand. And I think, therefore, I'm having this wooden leftover. The edges are already black, so I think I'm going to paint the rest black as well. And then I'm going to find myself, you know, those tower blocks, those Jenga blocks. Put one behind each of the bottoms of the trees. And then just glue it upon there. But first, let's paint. I'll be just using the same black school board paint, because I think that stuff is really good. And it will be a nice base as well, I think. So. Okay, the block has been painted and it's dry. I think it's time to get some of those Jenga blocks and start gluing away. Look, I mean these things here, those little blocks here. These are old ones. You might see the color difference that I reused on another DIY. I just took these apart so I can reuse them. And the fun fact is, just discovered that these are exactly the size that I needed them to be. Okay, let's grab the glue gun and then I'll be gluing them towards or upon those trees. Let me see, what is the good side? Yes, this one is. So just put on some glue. I know I'm not having a shaky finger day, only the glue gun just heated up, but it isn't completely hot enough, I think. That's one, and I'll do the other ones as well. And then we're going to glue it upon the big block there. That is the last one. I'll carefully move them around without damaging them. Then we have our big block. I think I'm going to put this one here first on the front. I'm just going to hold it because it still needs to be glued. Yeah, and it's a little bit too heavy on the front side. And then we put this one here. If I'm not holding it, then it will fall. And the other one there behind, or just switched around. Something like this is what you get then. I'll try to film it because these things are big. Now grab some huge amount of glue. Stay there, you. And I think I'm going to put it around here. Move it as far as the side as I can. And I'm going to hold the tree for a few seconds, or at least the block. And I'll be doing the exact same one with the black one on this side here. Yes, it stands firmly, I hope. Yeah, thought it would fall. Hopefully it won't. Okay, there goes number 2. Put it slightly back here, because otherwise it is just too big. Okay, hold. Yes, and now the last one. I'm going to zoom out later. There, I'm going to turn over to this side. Yes. Woohoo! Oh gosh, this looks darling, doesn't it? I'm missing only a small thing, which is twine down here to cover up those glue edges. And actually, I'm also missing something green. Maybe some winter berries. We'll see what I can find. First, I'm going to glue down the twine on the bottom, and then I'll be adding some greenery. I think the line here already makes a really big difference. Time to just add the finishing touch. I found some decor. These things here, just plastic. Already have this one, really some winter, and an old worn branch with berries that I'm using many times to cut up berries for my DIYs. Okay, I'm doing the magic trick. Just going to add something here in the front section, I think, and then I'm happy because I don't want it to be too busy. Here is the greenery. I just made some smaller pieces in the front, just cut off of the larger branches, and I decided not to use the red berries because I think if you look at it like this, I think it just looks really perfect and rustic. And I think it's perfect for every kind of wintry season, including the Christmas season. Yes, I'm happy with the result. I hope you are too. I hope you had fun watching. Let us know what you think in the comment section of this DIY. Well, that was it for today, Jenny, and I hope you had fun watching. If you did, don't forget to give us a reaction in the comment section below. And yeah, we hope to see you back next time. Take care of yourself. Bye, everyone.